But we've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think when you first saw those pictures?
What I thought was we have to gain control of this. We have to move this more quickly. We have to move in a way in which we can take control of that airport. And we did.
So you don't think this could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way? No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happened.
I did. Seriously. His response. That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Stephanopoulos was what Stephanopoulos just did. What was he brought up the? I'm sure you've seen the images. By the way, Ada Jet Noise. Thanks for joining me. Rumble.com, Facebook.com, YouTube.com. Thanks. Please hit like, subscribe, a thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me your opinion. Bite back. What have you? Let's come to some. Let's try to find some solutions within ourselves, because our government is not going to do that. Let me know your opinion, because I don't have to be right. Yeah, I always say it. I don't have to be right. I just have to start the conversation, because nobody else is doing that. What Stephanopoulos was doing was he was bringing up the videos. I'm sure you've seen them by now. Was the plane taking off and the two specks. One falling, and then probably like under 10 seconds later, another one falling from the sky so high up, both of them dead. Come to find out that those were twins. The reports are saying that those were twins, which kind of makes sense. Twins kind of move together, so if one twin was just like, we can do this. The other one was right there with them, hanging onto the exterior part of the plane, obviously. An incredibly bad idea. That image of those two young men falling, and the other image of the shadow. It looks like somebody was taking a cell phone video from maybe the side of the C-17 cockpit out of a window or something like that, and you can see a shadow on the plane itself. It looks like the wing of a lifeless, just very broken body, just flailing as the craft is in the air, just flying. Obviously, I'm sure full speed at that point. And it's flailing like a windsock in a high wind. It's horrific to see. Those are the images that Stephanopoulos is bringing up. The people hanging on, trying to hang on to something, trying to get their way into the housing of the landing gear. So they, in desperation, just to get out of Afghanistan, now that the Taliban is, of course, reigning their terror over the country there. And those are the images that Stephanopoulos was saying that everyone has seen. And Joe Biden's response is that was 4 days ago. That's 5 days ago. What does that mean? By that justification, everybody's new messiah, George Floyd, that was last spring, right? They got murals, we got T-shirts. That's the new messiah, right? George Floyd, that's like the guy that's saving America. He died, to save America from its sins, what have you. But by Biden's justification 4 or 5 days ago, well, George Floyd, that was so last year. Oh my God. So I don't know what Biden was trying to sell there, but that is who Biden is. That is exactly who Biden is. I'll point something out a little bit later that will show you the same callousness, the same ridiculous, elitist actual, and everyone's tired of hearing it, but that actual white supremacy, actual, that is what white supremacy looks like. Not all this nonsense about math being a white supremacist thing, restaurants being white supremacist. That's not white supremacy. Biden has always been that way. Again, I'll point something out a little bit later that brings that out. And he's also mentioned in that little clip that nothing could have gone wrong. Nothing could have gone wrong. And I don't think people are in complete, full understanding as to what is actually going wrong. It's everybody wanted the troops out of Afghanistan. That's nothing new. That's nothing new. No one is going to fight you to get our troops out of Afghanistan. We've been there far longer than we needed. And I have an interesting twist on that too, which would have kept us even longer. If I don't explain it in this little show, I'll explain it at another time. But Tulsi Gabbard the other day said we should have went in, busted up the terrorism, because that's why we went into Afghanistan in the first place, because they were harboring terrorism, they were training terrorism, they were creating terrorism in Afghanistan. So Tulsi Gabbard was absolutely right in saying we should have went in, busted them up bad, and then got out. That's the way we should have handled Afghanistan. Instead, we got into nation building. And to get them out after 20 years is, again, I have to, I'll explain to you why I think that was a mistake. But the real mistake is that as soon as you get the troops out of Afghanistan, our citizens are over there. American citizens are over there. Contractors, missionaries, family members, because now they could go to Afghanistan, go back and forth from the United States to Afghanistan and see their family members that they haven't seen in a while, because they couldn't do that flying back and forth thing before, because they lived under the terrorist regime of the Taliban. So now they go over there, they're able to spend a week, a month, or what have you with their family, and then come back to the United States and feel safe in both areas. But they can't do that now. And what the United States did was not plan to get those people out. All they did was say, we'll provide planes. That's all they've done. Right now, the British military, the French military, are in the country and going to get their people. They're going out and they're getting their people and bringing them back so they can get those people home. The United States has vowed not to do that. The United States is not going out to get anyone. In fact, let me show you some video here. In fact, the Taliban has decided that they are going to start cutting people off as they try to get to these airports. As they're trying to leave, they're setting up barriers. Those barriers are the Taliban members themselves with guns. So as the people flee for the airports, they're met with this. You see the people just trying to get to their destination, desperately trying to get to their destination. And what you're hearing there is gunfire. And this Taliban sitting on fences and walls, and they're just spraying the area with gunfire. If you get up, they won't just spray the area, they'll target you. This is what these people are being met with at this point. And the United States who could seriously can just set up a perimeter and stop that. It would be our guys against their guys. Our guys against their guys in that situation. And I'm sure, no doubt, that the United States would come out on top on that. But that's what these people are being met with. And a lot of those people are American citizens. The Biden administration has decided that they're not going to do anything. Here I'm going to show you this one as well. This one is the same situation, but of kind of on the ground, an on the ground point of view. Or I should say, we're getting the point of view of someone that's actually near the Taliban. You can see them kind of milling around with guns. Again, they're spraying the areas and trying to back these people off. They're cutting these people off from getting away. You see the members there. Those are our people. Many of those people are our people. And they're just trying to get out. Now the Taliban said that they said they don't care what happens. They just need, if you're going to get people out, you're going to get them out by September 11th. That is the date. September 11th. Why September 11th? It's obvious. And this administration it is acting like that's not a big deal. I promised I'd get to that whole Biden thing on his callousness, and to him it isn't. The 20th memorial of September 11th, 2001 was coming up this year, and the irony that I was thinking, years ago, what's it going to be like 20 years when we're remembering the September 11th attacks? And the celebrations have gotten less and less and less, or I should say the memorials have gotten less and less and less. Less and less coverage, if you will. And September 11th was the day that they said that everyone that you want out needs to be out of Afghanistan. Why? Because on September 11th of this year, the Taliban gets to go on national television and say, we did it again. 2001, planes into buildings. 2021, we, the Taliban, kicked the United States out of Afghanistan. They can't handle who we are. That's what the situation is. So September 11th was the day that they gave them the off date, and they don't really care about that. They don't really care about. We'll give you I should say they're not interested in letting the people out and giving you till September 11th to get out. That's just the date that they want to say that they kick the United States out of Afghanistan. Victory for them. All right. So that is that in and of itself is it's awful. But the Biden administration said by August 31st, if United States citizens have not made their way to the airports to get on those planes, they're going to be out. He softly and reluctantly and knowing that he had to promise us as citizens that they would stay until the job was done at getting all Americans out, but they're not going to do that. They're nowhere near interested in doing that. Why? Well, it's obvious because one of the things that's happening at these airports is the British and the United States are actually having verbal confrontations, serious verbal confrontations, along with the French, because the Brits and the French are going into the country and they're getting their people and getting them to these airliners and getting them out of the country. The United States has vowed and promised the Taliban that they would not do that. Listen to what I said. The United States military will not be going in to save its citizens and get them home safely. On top of that, even if you do get to the airline, if you are a United States citizen, you now owe the United States $2,000 for flying you back. If you're not a United States citizen and you get you get on that plane, you're free. Here nor there. But the United States military will not be going into the country because we promised that we would not fight back. We just want to get whoever can make it, the great race, to these airliners can get on and come back home and be safe. That is another deal that this administration has made with the Taliban. And how do we know that the Taliban is running the show? Well, let me put it to you this way. General Lloyd Austin and General Miley were at an interview or at the podium a couple of days ago. I'm going to play this video, and I want you to pay attention to General Lloyd Austin, well, both of them, their body language, their facial expressions, their response to the question, what are we doing to get United States citizens out of Afghanistan in this situation?
And where do you take that? I mean, how far can you extend into Kabul? You know, and how long does it take to flow those forces in?
To his facial expression and his
so it
body
sounds like you're saying
language.
This depends on diplomacy with the Taliban. That's it. That's our only option, is getting them to agree to do this.
Watch this.
Well, let me add something here, Helene. We got a couple of entry control points set up.
Listen to what he's saying.
A north one, east one, and a third one at Abbey Gate. They're currently manned with consular officers, Marines. This is all part of the perimeter. Messages have gone out by various means of communication from the State Department to American citizens and others. And they're being told to go to those gates.
Nothing.
We're processing it.
How do we get him? What's the effort on getting American citizens out of Afghanistan in this situation? It all depends on what the Taliban will let us do. The United States. Did you see Lloyd Austin's face? When she clarified his response, she says it sounds like diplomacy, it all counts on diplomacy with the Taliban, as long as we have their permission. So when she clarified, when she simplified his answer, he looked like an idiot. Wiley goes on and telling you, well, this is where we got people going here, we got people going there, we got, and we're sending out messages and blah, blah, blah. No answers. No answers. The United States has vowed to just do what the Taliban tells them. That's it. That's it. There's no, I'm sorry, man. These are our people. You can come at us if you want to, but we're going to respond. We was here. Our people were here. And we would like our people back. They can't even They can't even give us that. Our government can't even give us as United States citizens that. We are going to fight for 2 more weeks and get our people out. We're going to go into the country, and if the Taliban feels they need to respond, we will respond in just. These are apparently our new bosses sitting in the presidential palace in Kabul a few days ago. This is what it looks like right now. Terrorists in a presidential palace, if you will. Telling the United States this is what we're going to do. England is just, they're seething, man. They're steaming. Boris Johnson, it took a day and a half for Biden to get back to Boris Johnson, as Boris Johnson was trying to get some answers as to, what's the plan here? What's the plan here? The United States is not responding to its allies in this situation. Kamala Harris is gone. Nowhere to be found. Let me give you the statement from the Taliban. All of this, that's the debacle that's happening in the United States. No one disagrees in getting our troops out. What everyone disagrees with is that there was no plan to get our United States citizens out. And now they're being left there to die. Taliban statement. The Taliban has hit a list of known Christians that they are targeting to pursue and kill. The U.S. Embassy is defunct, and there is no longer a safe place for believers to take refuge. All borders to neighboring countries are closed, and all flights to and from have been halted, with exceptions of private planes. People are fleeing into the mountains looking for asylum. They are fully reliant in God, who is the only one who can and will protect them. That's just I made it sound like that's the Taliban, but it was a statement about what's going on with the Taliban in Afghanistan. So please, my apologies. The Taliban are going door to door, taking women and children. The people must mark their house and with an X if they have a girl over 12 years old. They have to mark their house with an X if they have a girl over 12 years old, so that the Taliban can take those girls, said girls. If they find a young girl and the house was not marked, they will execute the entire family. If a married woman 25 years or older has been found, the Taliban promptly will kill her husband, do whatever they want to her, and then sell her as a sex slave. Husbands and fathers have been given their wives and daughters guns and told them when the Taliban come, they can choose to kill them or kill themselves. It is their choice. So, seriously, right? What are we fighting for? When nothing has changed, these monsters are still ruling the day the way they want to rule the day. The debacle is completely on us. I don't want to go on too much longer because there's so much to talk about and so many directions to go in. But I still wanted to reiterate as to what Joe Biden. I usually try not to swear, but this is a quote from Joe Biden. I did want to tell you show you proof again of Joe Biden's callousness about this entire thing. Joe Biden didn't think much of any obligations to Afghanistan, women, girls, as a vice president. He told officials at the time, fuck that, when someone made note of it. Atlantic reporter George Packer, a biographer of former President Barack Obama's special representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan, Richard Holbrooke, repeated a 2010 exchange in this is an exchange between them and Joe Biden. According to Holbrooke's diary, when he asked about American obligations to Afghans like the girls in a Kabul school, Biden replied with a history lesson from the final U.S. withdrawal from Southeast Asia in 1973. Quote, fuck that. We don't have to worry about that. We did it in Vietnam. Nixon and Kissinger got away with it. The ever so tolerant Democrat president. There's so much to talk about. I when it comes to this, I'll cover more in the upcoming days. But please, if you can, please help. There's a lot of people there's the opportunity to get these people, help get these people out of Afghanistan. Please visit the NazareneFund.org, the NazareneFund.org, and make a donation. At this point, they're close to $20 million. Help them reach their goal of $20 million to help get 5,000 citizens and their family members out of Afghanistan. Most of these people are United States citizens. Nazarene Fund is actually getting private aircraft, huge private aircraft, and getting these people out of the United States. I've donated to Mercury.1, which is the mothership of the Nazarene Fund, Nazarene Mission, for years now. I am a big proponent. All of the proceeds go to, all of the donations go to making sure that this happens. No one is getting paid. The people that do this already have their own financial their own financial well-being. No one is getting paid to make this happen. They just need to pay for the flight, pretty much. The Nazarene Fund, please visit NazareneFund.org. Donate, help these people. It is the Christ-like thing to do. A lot of Christians are being destroyed, and many of these people on these flights are Christian, hence the Nazarene Fund. Thank you for listening to me today. Again, A to Jet Noise, rumble.com, facebook.com, youtube.com. Let's do the Christ-like thing and save lives. Talk to you soon. Till then, big hug, be good, be still. Enjoy your life.